Local topics, local conversation. You're listening to AM Beaver County on 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and 1460 WMBA. Presented by St. Barnabas and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
And we're back on this Wednesday morning edition of AM Beaver County, and we're joined as we are every second Wednesday of the month by Rochester Mayor Keith Jackson. Mr. Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Beaver County.
So we're going to talk about a couple things today, and I think we'll start with an event that took place a few days ago, which you were a part of, a historic milestone for one of Rochester's most distinguished areas.
Yes, it's the library. 100 years anniversary is a landmark to me, that building. And it's very valuable to me. You know, the people that are working there, they're sincere. They love the building. Mm-hmm. They're trying to do some renovation on it. Hopefully we can get some monies to take care of it.
Yeah, because, I mean, what's 100 but just a number at this point, for such a resource, you got to keep it going. And like we were talking about a little bit before the show started, or before our interview started, that, education is such a major standpoint, especially for, this generation being raised in the information age. To have a source like the library, which is, available for free, is such a huge part of the community.
Well, a lot of people don't have cell phones and stuff today. A lot of people don't know how to use them.
That's true.
The library is a place that we all used to go to at one point in time when we was looking up information. Because, these cell phones and stuff come out, that doesn't mean you have to close the doors on these libraries. These libraries, a lot of senior citizens still participate at these libraries. That's a getaway for a lot of the senior citizens, because there's not too much for them to do in the communities. So a lot of people go to the libraries where they meet their friends, where they can sit down and talk with unity.
And you mentioned getaway, and I think for in a sort of a metaphysical sense, that is a place where senior citizens can sort of go and hang out and do whatever. But I think just the idea of getting a book and having that chance to open a book, put your phone away, get away from everyday reality. I think that is something that, especially when you hear so much today about mental health, I think that is an underrated aspect of it too. So, and that goes for all ages.
Right.
To just open a book, get away, and go on that ride for a little bit.
Well, I look at the library also as a unity thing for adults and kids. You have adults going in there, you have kids going in there. We as adults are mentors to a lot of these kids. When I walk through Beaver County and Rochester, I see a lot of these kids, and I've always said this, these kids are reaching out for help. We have to do something for these kids. When you hear an adult make a statement, let the kids tell you what they want in your community. Well, when you're a leader in your community and you see the things that these kids are doing and these things that these kids are lacking, it's up to these adults, council, to make a decision for these kids. You see these kids don't have anything to do, get something for these kids. Kids like going to the library. There's a lot of education in that library. You never realize it until you start going down there, purchasing books and stuff. You have a staff down there that is excellent. They work with you. Even during the corona, they were sacrificing their lives to keep the building open, make sure the people were getting their books and everything. And I take my hat off to the board of the library and everyone that works down there.
Absolutely, because that's never an easy situation to be in, to sort of, have to combat this, thing that is, now 2 years of our lives stamped, in definition, for them to, provide this service as they have been the whole time. It is something you have to take your hat off to. And like you said, it is a source of unity and a source of, gathering for both kids and adults, because they're all there for the same reason.
Yes.
And they're all there for, well, multiple reasons, but the same multiple reasons, whether it be education or getaway, as we talked about before. And that's something we don't see that often outside of places like that. And that leads me to my other thing that I want to talk to you about today, which is your, sort of political journey. The thing that made you decide, I want to push for a position to be a leader in my community. When did that start?
Started within my whole life. Our parents brought us up to help people. We all need help. I would never turn my back on anyone that needs any help. I have had a lot of complaints about me talking with people in the streets. Everywhere I go, they say, oh, every time we turn around, you're talking with somebody. I've been in that town 69 years. That's the town that I love, along with the people in that community.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you realized, hey, I want this community to thrive. I want it to succeed. I want it to be the best that it can be. And the way things are right now, they're not.
I think Rochester has a lot of potential. There's a lot of things that can be going on in Rochester. I've said this, Rochester is the hub to every town. New Brighton, Beaver Falls, Bridgewater, Beaver. Like it said before, you had to come through Rochester to get to these areas. Rochester is very valuable to me. A lot of my families that live there, and a lot of my friends that live there. I would never turn my back on the people in Rochester. I've also want to say I'd like to thank the people in Rochester that believed in me and trusted in me to put me in office for my second term. I will continue to work for the people of the borough of Rochester.
And that's why you're the mayor. That's why I'm the mayor, because again, that's the job of someone to be a leader for the people of Rochester. And we've talked a lot about all these different things that could be and perhaps should be. And you mentioned that it's the hub, and it is the sort of central area in Beaver County. And I know that there are certain events like Beaver County Boom and stuff like that sort of gather everybody together, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, stuff like that. But it feels like there are a lot of opportunities that could be had that aren't. And what are some of the biggest ones in your mind of events that could take place that Rochester could be part of that hasn't happened yet?
I'd like to see that riverfront. Once that riverfront gets completed, there's a lot of activities that could be going on down there. You have a stage down there, which you can have like little concerts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have areas down there, that stage area. You can have like fishing contests for the kids and stuff. There's a lot of activities. As adults, you want to be a leader and you want to be part of a leader. Let's start making things happen for your community.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it all comes down to, is that if you're not a leader in that position, and if you don't have that leader's mentality, it's not going to get done. And granted, not everybody can sort of, be a leader, but at the same time, everybody can have that sort of mentality of let's get something done. Let's do something for the community.
Well, a lot of people think being a leader, you take over everything. You don't take over everything. A leader is to help guide everyone in the direction that we should be going into, not the direction that they want to take it into. And what I mean about we have to all focus on the same things. When you have people on your council focus on things that they want and forget about everyone else in that community, that's not a good sign to me. We're supposed to be working together as a leader. Me as a leader, I put it in the hands of the people of Rochester. They're the taxpayers. When there's a problem, they come to me, they call me. My phone, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone rings. My phone is open to anyone. I don't care what time of the day, what time of the morning. I don't care if it's 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the mornings. If you're going to pick up that phone to call me to complain about something, I'm willing to sit down and listen to you. It doesn't have to be the complaint of your community. It could be that phone call, you're saving somebody's life that's reaching out and don't know who to reach out to.
Right.
And whenever you get a phone call 3, 4 o'clock in the mornings, they believe in you and they trust in you to help them solve a problem that is being committed or that you can see coming. Hopefully, with your leadership and the leadership of our council and everyone involved in the borough of Rochester, we have to work together to make things happen. That's the only way things are going to work.
And that's the part of, leadership that is probably one of the biggest qualities, is knowing how to handle all of the different situations, not just the how do we improve the situation over here, but how do we get out of trouble or potentially away from trouble at all over here. And it does take a considerable amount of humanity, empathy, and, like you said, time to really be able to put all that together and make sure that things are getting better on all fronts.
I try to look at Rochester. Every individual in Rochester, to me, is a leader. That's the way I look at it. We all have a voice. We have to listen to each other's voice in order to make things happen. I've always said, you got to think outside the box. When you're thinking inside the box, it's only pertaining to those that are in that room. I don't look at things like that. I look at things outside the box, because the things that are outside the box is going to come inside that box where the council people got to make that decision. Well, outside the box, the things that are being brought inside the box are the people that are out here that sees the things that are going on. And when they bring it to your attention, you just can't turn your back on them. You got to work with these people and try to find out what angles or what you can do to help our community out.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And again, for those who want to be a part of that, who want to get a part of that leadership, how can they get a hold of you? When are the meetings? And how can they reach you?
I can be reached on my cell phone. Is open 24/7. I can be reached at this number, 724-494-0463. Feel free to call me. I don't care what time of the day or what time of the morning that you decide you want to call me. I will be there to help support your needs and wants, hopefully with the community and hopefully with the council support.
Agreed. Mayor, I thank you so much for coming by once again. And
thank you.
Every second Wednesday of the month, we'll talk to you and get the latest on what's going on in Rochester.
Also want to let the people know in the borough of Rochester, my love for Rochester is the same love that a lot of the Rochester people have. And like I said, call me anytime that you feel that you need me. I will be there to support you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mayor, for coming in once again.
And thank you, Connie, for having me here.
You listen to Beaver County Radio News in just a couple minutes here at 8:30.
Country Club